I went to a wrestling show at a hockey game. Obviously, you can tell from behind me, hockey has been my number one love since the time I was born, basically. And my local hockey team that I have been going to my entire life, the team that I have season tickets to, just so happened to do a wrestling night as part of their Thanksgiving Eve game. I did get to go last year and it was awesome. I was super impressed with IWC. IWC being a professional wrestling company based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. IWC standing for International Wrestling Cartel. And last year when I went, I got to talk with some of the talent, some of the people that you normally wouldn't get to talk to at a wrestling show. And this year I had the idea to make a video out of it, giving IWC a big shout out because they are a very entertaining group. So I know this video is a little bit different from what I normally post on this channel, but I really wanted to talk about my experience and what you guys can expect from IWC and possibly your own local indie wrestling promotion. So the first thing that I want to talk about with IWC is the one thing that I enjoy the most about them is they don't try to do anything that is so over the top or something that your nerdy wrestling fan like myself would understand. Because something that is important to note is that the crowd that's there is there for a hockey game. And it may be a lot of those people's first experience with professional wrestling. So they keep it at a level where everybody can get behind it. And the crowd was awesome. If you have never been to a hockey game before, hockey fans are a different breed. We are beyond passionate, similar to wrestling fans. So how I'm going to do this video is we're going to go through some of the matches from this card. I'm just going to talk about the matches and the performers that really stood out to me. And the way I'm doing this isn't meant to slight other guys or keep other guys out. Everybody is super talented at IWC. The first match that took place had a guy that really impressed me. Spencer Slade, who is someone who was in the first match and is also the IWC Super Indie Champion. He was really impressive to me, not from his character work necessarily, but his in-ring work was super clean. You can see from some of the clips that I'm posting throughout the course of this video, this guy was really impressive. I do remember him from last year's show, so I kind of knew a little bit more about him this time around, but it is no surprise at all that he is carrying a championship in this company. Another guy that I want to give a massive shout out to is Felix Cause. This dude is a pure energy factory. This dude made his entrance with an accordion. He was doing flips with the accordion. He was getting the crowd involved. I am upset that the accordion did not make its way into the wrestling match itself. That part was a little upsetting. But this dude was energy personified. So not only did this guy have his character work down, but he was also pretty dang good in the ring too. Now the next match that I'm going to be talking about had a little bit of backstory that they needed to build on. And they did this by having their two managers coming out and cutting promos to kind of fill people in on what was going on in the storyline. And the storyline is this. The two managers of the two guys that were in the match were both co-owners of IWC. And at their next big show, the Pittsburgh Classic, which we will talk about later, they are going to have a tag team ladder match. And that match will be for 100% control of the IWC Wrestling Company. So I did really like how they did have the managers come out, cut some promos, fill people in on what the story was, because obviously, as you know, storytelling in professional wrestling is just as important, if not more important, than the actual wrestling itself. So once people were caught up to speed, a lot of people really got into this match. I thought both of the managers' roles throughout the course of this match was also very good. You had the dastardly heel who was trying to sneak a crutch into the match, only for him to have the same crutch used over his back at the very end of the match after he took the loss. I thought this match was very fun from an in-ring side and a storyline side. Now, the next match that I'm going to be talking about had two guys that were really impressive and was personally my favorite match of the night. Anthony Katena and Duke Davis. Duke Davis being the IWC World Heavyweight Champion. And both of these guys were really impressive to me. I have to give a massive shout out to Anthony Katena. That dude did some really good stuff in the ring, all while wearing skinny jeans, mind you. You can see from the video what he's wearing in this match. The stuff that he was able to do in this attire is crazy impressive. The thing that stuck out to me the most from this match was both of these guys being able to use the crowd. Anthony Katana, obviously being the heel in this match, got the crowd into it right from the get-go. And Duke Davis, by the end of this match, had everybody in that place going, Duke, Duke, Duke. So like I said, these two in the ring were awesome together. But what really stuck out to me from this match, from these two, were just how good of crowd workers they really were. The main event of the night was a Falls Count Anywhere match, and it was between Jamie Jamison and Channing Decker. Now, Jamie Jamison is someone that I accidentally ran into at last year's wrestling night, and let me tell you, up close, when he's walking past you with a sledgehammer, he is a terrifying individual. And then on the other side, you have Channing Decker, who was a charisma machine. Obviously, getting the hometown crowd up and going, wearing his Wheeling Nailers jersey so beautifully in the ring. This match had a little bit of everything. Obviously, with it being a Falls Count Anywhere match, we had some hockey stick spots. We had some nasty, nasty trash can spots where we saw Channing Decker smack Jamie Jamison with that trash can lid very, very hard. And then the match just kind of took on a life of its own. Because as they were outside of the ring, they would end up making their way up the stairs. I ended up staying back because I knew that they were going to end up back in the ring sooner rather than later. The group of guys behind me that I had never met before in my life, we were all kind of wondering how they were going to get back into the ring. And when the two made their way out onto the bridge, which is the part that you can see in the video that basically just goes all the way across the main lobby of the arena. A lot of people, including myself, were kind of expecting one of them to take a leap off of that bridge. Now, that ended up not happening. They end up getting tossed through the door, and they manage to come back in the front doors, make their way back into the ring. That match was so crazy, so much fun, and was everything that a wrestling match should be. So a little bit earlier, you heard me mention the Pittsburgh Classic, which is IWC's next big show. That show takes place on December 6th. So if you guys are in the Pittsburgh area, I really recommend checking IWC out. They are a very fun group to be around. You can tell that the personalities that are in there makes for just a really good mix. And even if you're not around the Pittsburgh area, I really encourage you to check out your local indie promotion, because some of them are really hidden gems and some of them are just really dang fun. And if you're a wrestling fan, you should be supporting your local indie company, because these guys don't make money like the WWE does. They are doing it for the pure love of professional wrestling. So down below in my description, yes, there will be the link to my Linktree page. That'll take you to all the social media platforms for this channel. The link that I want you guys to really go and check out is to IWC's website. Again, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, I strongly consider checking these guys out. So that is going to do it for this video here. I know it was a bit unconventional. It may be a little bit of an awkward video. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work out right now. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free. Both really help out the channel a lot. Don't forget to go check out the link in the description to IWC's website. And again, just strongly consider, if you're in the area, checking out one of their shows, because they are a really fun and talented group of people. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here, because it genuinely means the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.